have your attention, please?
Of course.
I don't see next scale.
It's still early.
It's,
He said he would be
that's
here.
still nothing unusual.
Right. And
Let
who
me-
is-
let
and
me
who
have
out
a
here is
moment.
surprised about that?
We'll get started. Councilmember Jim Looney, can you attest to the fact that we have a quorum present?
Yes, we do.
For the president, I now declare this meeting open. And for an invocation, I'm going to ask Lonnie Waters, if you will, please, to do an invocation for us.
Lord, as we gather together to conduct this business, we just thank you for the rain, thank you for every drop of cool weather. Lord, we thank you for our community, our neighborhoods, our citizens. Lord, as we go through this, we ask you for your blessings. Amen.
And Councilmember Foust, will you please do us a prayer?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, you have in front of you our agenda. I'll entertain a motion at this time that we adopt the agenda as presented.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Have a motion?
Were we wanting to move an item out of,
That'll be the next item.
okay.
Have a motion?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. The motion carries. I'd like to also, please place notice for the record that Councilmember Kirk Raffield is out of town and will not be at this meeting. Council, the consent agenda is in front of you, and I have removed the JeepFest from the consent agenda, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion by council? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. And the motion carries. Unfinished business, we have none. Under new business, council, I'd like to call to your attention, we have with us Mr. J. Cornelius, and I would ask for a motion to approve the appointment of J. Cornelius to serve on the Downtown Development Authority.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. And the motion carries. Now, we have a swearing-in ceremony that I want to do at this time. And I'm going to come down and ask Mr. Cornelius if he would come forward. So for every, let's get right here, and I think this will be good. For every appointee to boards in our city, then there are two requirements. One of those is a ceremony that says that you will agree to serve, and another one is that you will be loyal to the state of Georgia. I'm going to give you the agreement to serve. If you would, raise your right hand, please. Say aye and state your name in full. Well,
All right.
Jeremy Wayne Cornelius.
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will well and truly perform the duties of member of the Downtown Development Authority to the best of my abilities and will take only my lawful compensation. I do further swear or affirm that I am not the holder of any unaccounted for public money due the state or any political subdivision or authority thereof, that I am not the holder of any office of trust under the government of the United States, any other state, or any foreign state, which I am prohibited from holding by the laws of the state of Georgia, and that I am otherwise qualified to hold said office according to the Constitution and laws of Georgia, and that I will support the Constitution of the United States and this state. Please say, I do.
I do.
The law of the oath of the state of Georgia. I, please state your name and full.
Jeremy Wade.
A citizen of Pickens County, Georgia, and being an appointed official of the city of Jasper, Georgia, and the recipient of public funds for services rendered as such employee, do hereby solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Georgia, so help me God.
I do.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And you are well and true this morning. Now, if you will, step right over here, and Tara's going to take care of a little bit of bookkeeping.
Thank you, Jay.
Let's give Jay a round of applause. I think he did a great job. We look forward to having you work with us, Jay. I look forward to it. Item 3, consideration and approval of closing Stegall Drive permanently. We'll ask our city manager, Sonia Jammes, to bring this to our attention.
Good evening, Mayor and members of City Council. Last year, City Council had decided to, in order to bolster economic activity and growth in the Central Business District, you decided to close a section of Stegall Drive, which we lovingly refer to as Stegall Alley, to set some tables out for different events and things like that, in an effort to bring more of the downtown feel and outside dining experience. It was very successful, met with great success. You would close it Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends, our staff would go and put bollards out. And then on Monday, they would pull the bollards back up. And it was quite an intensive process every weekend to do that. So this summer, we decided to go ahead and leave the bollards up the entire summer. And again, it met with great success. And so what the request I'm bringing before you today is for you to make a decision about potentially closing permanently Stegall Alley, so that we do not have to Monday through Friday pull the bollards out and keep them in place. And so I'm asking, staff is requesting that City Council approve that on a permanent basis to close that little alcove street.
At what date would you have for that? Do you have a date for that closing?
Whenever we closed it back. The first of summer.
Is this, you're asking for this to be done now, I want to make sure? Is it-
Continuing, yes, it's closed now. It has been closed all summer. I do not want staff to have to pull those bollards back out again. We've suffered several workers' compensation injuries as a result of that. So if we could just permanently close it, then that would help a great deal.
Council, entertain a motion for the permanent closing of Stegall Drive.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Motion
Before
is a second.
we
Discussion?
I'm sorry, Mayor, before we have the vote, can I have a clarification in just how staff sees this working? I mean, are we going to give up the right-of-way to, say, the property owners that have joined the street? Or are we going to retain that right-of-way and we're just closing the
It continues to be a public space, just like the sidewalks, just like any other right-of-way. It is a public space. We are not designating that space to any particular business owner.
Yeah.
It would just be a public space that is no longer a road. It would be considered an alley or a sidewalk, an extended area but it will still be maintained by the city of Jasper.
And it could always go back if we changed our mind and removed those, because those
Exactly.
are removable, but.
Okay. All right, I just wanted to be sure I was understanding what action we were formally taking.
Yes, sir, it will continue to be a public space.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. The motion carries. Item 4 is consideration and approval of CCWSA petition for water capacity. And we're going to definitely have our city manager bring this one.
So in an effort to create a more efficient collaboration with the Cherokee County Water and Sewer Authority, staff is requesting that the mayor and city council petition that authority to reserve capacity for the city on their system. So currently the city purchases about between 100,000 and 200,000 gallons from that authority a month on in a market price of $4.50 a gallon. What we're petitioning is to buy into the authority and then be able to purchase that water at a wholesale price of $2.50 a gallon. So in essence, we would be able, for the monthly cost of what we currently pay, we would be able to double the amount of gallons that we receive for just a little over the amount of money that we pay monthly currently. So instead of 100,000 gallons, we would get 200,000 gallons at about the same monthly cost once we buy into the authority. In order to buy into the authority, we will have to pay $500,000 in order to buy into the authority to get the wholesale cost of water. And so staff is recommending that as a water source that we consider this, city council consider this request.
So we have to petition them, if I understand this correctly.
We actually have to petition them with a letter in order to start a negotiating process. They may allow us into their system, they may not. City council has to authorize us to negotiate with them on that. So just because we're petitioning them for this does not mean that we will definitely guarantee a spot, or if the parameters and criteria isn't right, we may choose not to go in that direction. But in order to have that conversation, we have to submit a letter of request signed by the mayor in order to start those negotiations or talks.
And we're asking council to approve the process of that.
This is correct, yes,
And
sir.
this has been through committee and recommended, by the way.
Yes, sir.
And a motion at this time, council, that we approve the request to the Cobb County Water Sewer Authority for
Cherokee.
Cherokee.
Yes.
Cherokee County Water Sewer. Yeah, Cobb would be able to stretch. And,
Gotta watch that line right there.
So moved.
and a second. Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion by council?
Just for clarification, this is not a commitment to proceed, this is a commitment to explore.
Correct, yes, sir.
Any further discussion by council? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. And the motion carries. Committee reports. Development committee would be Councilmember Kirk, Raffield, and Dr. Sonia Proctor, but I think it's just you tonight, Dr. Proctor.
Yes, sir, and nothing really to report. We're still in a moratorium, and we're still evaluating our new ordinances. I was not here at the last council meeting, and unfortunately I didn't get to attend when we approved a quite important development on 515, so I will mention that. And I did speak to the property owner on that development, and I think things are moving ahead. I think they had some final conversations with DOT today or yesterday, so, but nothing further to the report, sir.
Thank you, sir. Street and Parks Committee, council members Sneve and John Foust.
Right now, we're working on, actually Kim is working on some requests for some quotation packages. She hopes to have it finished by the 5th of August to send to Silva. We have not got anything else on it right now. Jay, do you have anything to add?
Have you heard of the time we took going to get leaning?
If I may,
Yeah.
I will say right now we are waiting on a written commitment from Georgia Power to verify there are no other dangerous lines running through there that our citizens could potentially accidentally step on. Or once I get that written confirmation, I will open it up for that. But we are submitting this to our insurance to cover the cost of that. And in doing so, I would like to, we will be bringing a request to council to potentially look at a different layout of how to do things. So we will be discussing that in future Parks Committee meeting, and maybe getting some professional help in laying that out as well. So that's where we are on that.
And we've got a schedule when Kim's back, too.
That's correct, yes.
So tell them what happened so people understand. We don't.
The city actually had a situation of vandalism where an individual decided to take a stolen vehicle into the park and do wheelies, and as they were doing the wheelies, they were circling around, and they would take out our electrical infrastructure where people could come and park and plug in and run their campers and do camping. They also took out our dusk to dawn lights. They took out trash cans and benches and anything in their way. We were able to apprehend that suspect after a high-speed chase, and they're going through the legal process. But unfortunately, that's probably going to be some, years out before we get any resolution to that. So in the meantime, we are going to send that to our insurance company to try to alleviate some of the cost of putting that infrastructure back in place.
Thank you.
Also, the Jeanette Drive is open for ones that don't know
Absolutely. Jeanette Drive is open. Go right across it.
it. Enjoy.
Administrative Committee, council members Jim Linney and Sneve.
Committee was trying to set up a meeting. Lindsay has been on us pretty heavy about getting it done, and and I'm sure it's not Lindsay's fault.
It's 'cause Jim's
As
been
I
out of the
mentioned
country.
last month, we had been on vacation, so we will try to work on getting that done and
So if I
be able to
may,
report it to next meeting.
we had actually had some discussions on our sanitation services in our last few administration committee meetings, and we were able to partner with Waste Pro. Waste Pro's first day of pickup was today. As far as I know, there were a few hiccups, but that is going to be a process to get it down to a well-oiled machine and to become an efficient process. So far, right out of the gate, it is more efficient the way we're operating with our professional services company than the toll it took on the infrastructure and equipment and personnel that the way we were doing it before. So hopefully, as time goes by, we will become even more high-performing and efficient. I will say our next step, our next phase in the process will be commercial. I have some ways that we're going to bring to the committee and to council on how to do that. It's probably going to be a hybrid of our current sanitation crews and Waste Pro's crews working together in a hybrid scenario for our commercial customers to give them the best customer service. So,
Thank you.
absolutely.
So for clarification, admin is handling garbage?
They had in the past, but
Okay.
I believe at some point we're going to reorganize the committee structure. And so we will have different homes for each of these services that we're undertaking. Yes.
Okay.
And certainly, not last, would be Water and Wastewater Committee, Dr. Proctor and John Foust.
So we had a very, I don't know if I'd call it productive, but informative meeting this week. As it relates to water, we continue to explore opportunities for diversification. Henceforth, the letter concerning Cherokee, which we have resisted in the past. There are also other things going on. We're exploring virtually every opportunity. Now that we no longer have access to the illegally diverted water into our mines, that was done 2 decades ago, we believe. There's some promise there, but nothing definitive coming from our engineers. On the wastewater, things are starting to slowly pull out of the station. I think one of the contractors is looking for places to store pipe and looking to order pipe. And of course, now that we have the financing in place, which gives a very low, a favorable interest rate over a long period of time, very favorable loan for the city, as much as a loan can be. Direct influence on our development, of course, is our ability to provide services like water and waste, and so that's all very important things. And so I guess that's about it.
Thank you, sir. Public Safety Committee would be Councilmember Raffield and Councilmember Jammes.
Couple of things, the 23rd, 24th, fire department had their fun day at Walmart. I was able to attend, and lots of people were there and had a good time. Thanks, Chief, for the work you and your folks did in that. I also understand that we are getting close to being able to release bids for the addition to
Yes,
the fire station, and that'll be another exciting
Should be in the
time.
newspaper next week.
Great. And your fire department and police department reports are in the package. If there's any questions on that.
Thank you, sir.
Can I add one thing? It's not on the committee reports as such, but the Parade Committee, Pro Park Committee is in the process of interviewing architects. We have called a number of architects back for second interviews, and they should be completed this week. Completed, and I guess then a decision can be made that has to go to Regional Commission,
Yes, sir.
and then we can make an announcement
Yes, sir.
about decisions after they get information from our interviews. So we're moving on there.
And I'm happy with that. Love that. At this time, council, we're going to entertain a motion for us to go into executive session for purposes of discussing legal.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I'll have to ask if you want to leave. Thank you very much.